episode 2 of season 2 of Euphoria. I'm in no way ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready for this show, but I did my face, so I feel protected. I feel ready. I have a margarita that was pre-mixed, so we're gonna try to make it through in one piece.
Nate Jacobs was in love. He didn't know how it happened. He didn't know why it happened. But he could just feel it. And it felt so fucking good. What was it about Cassie Howard that allowed Nate to fully surrender himself? With Maddie, it was always a game. Cassie was the opposite.
I'm just so worried about Cassie and Nate as a duo. Like, I was mildly concerned before, and now I'm terrified. Like, just the potential for enabling that exists.
He knew he wasn't perfect, that he had some issues. But maybe the reason he had those issues is because Maddie brought out the worst in him. And maybe if he met Cassie when he was a sophomore instead of Maddie, she would have brought out the best in him. But she was drunk. Not super drunk. But she never would have said yes if Maddie and Nate were still together. Because that would be unforgivable. Maddie was her best friend.
Also, I just want to touch on how Maddie said that Cassie loves to be loved. And I think that is really, like, poignant for a lot of teenagers and a lot of people who come from complicated homes. So you just are really chasing that feeling of being loved or being wanted or being needed, and not looking at maybe the more important details, like who you want to be loved by. Very interesting. And I think that Nate has a really similar complex where, like, he needs to be needed. And that's why him and Cassie are so dangerous together.
Hey. Hi. How was your night?
Calm Cassie down enough to stop crying was to tell her.
Promise we can meet in person next weekend.
But then he said something that totally freaked her out.
If Maddie finds out, she's gonna spend the rest of her life trying to kill me.
I know.
But she'll actually kill you.
And that's an important distinction to make. She loves Cassie, but she's in love with Nate. So, like, she will forgive him for almost anything. But she will throw Cassie right under that bus. And that's why this is such a dangerous situation for Cassie. Like, sweetie, self-preservation, please.
Why don't you have a seat, Cassie?
Mr. Jacobs believes you know who assaulted his son.
Meanwhile, Fezco had a new house guest. Ashtray was so pissed off he couldn't even speak to Fez.
Cassie, I asked you a question.
She didn't see anything.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking her.
Like, why would you resort to putting pressure on children? You know damn well that your kid was into some shady shit and that he put his hands on his girlfriend. Like, why are you acting brand new? Like, you need to, like, save him. Like, I get wanting justice for your child, but I don't think going into the homes of other children and intimidating them is the right avenue to go.
How she never had the courage to say anything. And even the time when she did get the courage to say something.
Well, you really need to get help.
So what, are you gonna tell my mom or something?
She backed down.
But like, that's not her responsibility. She's a child too. Like, she shouldn't put this much on her own shoulders. Like, she shouldn't be responsible for root sobriety, for her sisters, whatever, for Fesco's not going to jail in NIS. Like, that's too much to take on as a teenager. But also, I could see how she would feel the need to take those things on.
Is that why you started doing drugs? That's funny. That's what everybody asks in rehab.
What do you mean? Cause and effect. Sometimes shit just like is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like she said in last season, in the special episode that came out over the holidays, like, she was just born a certain way, so she had mental illness regardless of the tragedies that happened throughout her life. And that's something that I deeply relate to, which is that, yes, certain traumatic things have happened to me, but set aside from that, I already had like a genetic predisposition for mental illness, and already had like anxiety by the time I was a teenager. So it's just like a lot of different factors play into it, but she was, in a lot of senses, just born this way.
What the fuck?
Nothing. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain.
Look who the cat dragged in.
Yeah.
I see you're still on your suicide mission.
Let go. Let God.
Because also that they both have this need for a chase and for something to be like secret or sacred. They find that like exciting, because he had that with Maddie last season and she had that with McKay, and now they're kind of finding that with each other. So it's interesting to see like the pattern just repeat itself, especially so close to home. Like, you'd think they'd see the parallels in their previous relationships to this one, but
I've got a lot of respect for you.
Well, I'm just doing what I can. Do you want something to drink or eat? Do you want to sit down?
No. I was just coming to introduce myself. I'm sponsoring the little troublemaker.
But she's doing well, right?
I can't tell if that's a statement or a question. Well, she's got a long way to go.
because she can't expect him to cover for her. What kind of sponsor would he be if he walked in and was like, no, yeah, your daughter's doing fantastic? And also, what kind of like friend and advocate figure would he be if he walked in and was like, your daughter's doing drugs? So I think he found an in-between. Not a subtle one, but he found a medium.
I'm sorry. I fell.
Come on, kid. Just get you to bed.
So not only is he in charge of Ashtray, he's now in charge of Faye and himself, and he should be in charge of none of the above. He's not equipped to be making these decisions, and I'm stressed on his behalf.
Dilla beat you up?
Sure you want to have this conversation?
Yeah, Nate, I do.
Okay, my blood pressure is high. My anxiety is high. So that means it was an amazing episode. Great character development. It really built on the last episode in a nice way. I liked that it didn't focus on one person and that it kind of gave exposition for several characters, because usually I'm used to the one character per episode format that we got last time with like Fez's episode, and last season every episode was very much framed around one person, and I think this one was like pretty well balanced between several people, so very interesting. Terrified about the Cassie, Nate, Maddie situation. Stressed about Rue and Elliot and their drug use. Stressed in general about just Fezco's life. And just terrified across the board. Until next week.